Happy Monday.
Everybody, welcome back. Monday, September 19 to Aligning with Success. Welcome back, everybody. Mike DiMuccio here, your host. Last week, I thought we had a pretty good session on the training that I provided for the event in Germany, but I gave us kind of our version of it with a lot of great commentary about events, having live events and the importance of live events, which is kind of timely because a couple of things. One, I was on my way to a live event in Montreal and actually in Laval. And we'll talk a little bit about that tonight because it was a great event. And of course, many of you will have received notification of Luis Kasuga, our CEO, coming to Toronto for an event on October 6th. He's actually not coming for the event. He's coming to spend some time with me and have some high-level discussions, but the event is just something we coordinated in order to benefit everybody who wants to have a moment with him or have some time to have an opportunity to connect with him and really hear where he's coming from. I get the benefit of that, of course, on my calls with him and others, but not everybody has that kind of access and hasn't heard the things that I've heard. And I think it'd be really great for anyone who's there to have an opportunity to meet him and hear firsthand where he's coming from and where he sees Nikken going based on that. I'm super optimistic about our future because of it. And so we put this event together, and I know I've been extending the RSVP date because I keep getting what always happens, people at the last minute, calling and saying, hey, I didn't get the email or whatever. And so I've extended it to, I think, the 22nd, next couple of days. And then I have to make a call because I have to book a room for that. And I want to accommodate who's going to be there with appropriate, VIP status. Anyway, so we have encouraged people to bring a VIP guest. I've been asked, what does that mean? What does it mean to you? VIP, very important person. That's what a VIP is. So who do you consider a very important person where your business is concerned? It might be a member of your downline. It might be a spouse, a significant other. It might be a prospect that you have been, introducing to Nikken, and they just need that one conversation or hear that one story that can make the difference. And as we spoke about last week, social proof. Yes, you can have more than one VIP. Yes. In fact, I think I asked the question, are you bringing one? Yes or no on the questionnaire, and names. And the names is not required. All the other ones are required because we didn't know if you would have the name by now, but we wanted to get an estimate of how many people we need to accommodate. I'll tell you right now, I take 50% of everybody's number. If you tell me you're bringing two, I only accommodate for one, because chances are pretty good that it's not at that level of the relationship yet, because a VIP is not going to tell you they're coming and then cancel on you. A VIP is, and it's also, are you bringing one, not are you sending one? Those words were very specific because obviously if you're bringing them, you'll know because you're bringing them if they're going to be there. You're not going to be that person at a wellness preview with your head out the window wondering, where is my guest? It's not a wellness preview. That's one thing it is not. It's not a prospecting event for that. So they better know already what they need to know about Nikken if you're inviting them. It is an opportunity to have a conversation with the CEO who's directing the ship. And the only reason why somebody would have that conversation is because they're serious. There's somebody who really intends to make something significant from Nikken. So I expect it to be a very intimate crowd of people, very intimate and very personal. So, and we want to keep it that way. We want the interaction. That's really important, is that it's a two-way conversation for the benefit of everybody. So enough about that. Let's talk about the impact of an event like yesterday in Montreal. So Leo, you probably know better than me. I was guessing, sort of a rough count, but how many people were in attendance yesterday?
Over 50.
Yes, for sure that was over 50. I counted more than that. And
25 guests, I think.
I'm sorry, how many?
25 guests.
Okay, so about 40 to 50% of the attendees were guests, which is fantastic. That's really the point. Any numbers as to what's happening with those guests? Have they made a decision? Have some committed? But what's if anything? I know it's a little soon. It's not even been 24 hours, but do you have any idea of what's come from that event so far?
Me?
Yes. Do you know if anybody's joined because of it? If anybody's made a commitment because of it? Like what can you tell us?
The girl who I do a test, she said to me, she's a physiotherapy. I don't know exactly.
Yes, I remember her. Yeah.
And she said to me after the meeting, many companies approached her because her job, but she said, "What do you do to meet with the test? Wow, I never see that before. I want to join that thing." Okay, and one of my guests, I already is a customer of me many years ago, and he sent me an email and said, "Wow, you gave me the goût, you gave me a
good taste, a great taste for this. Some donne le goût.
He restarted again. He very loved this afternoon. He said, "I want to do it again." He quit many years ago, and I met him this afternoon. He said, "I want to sign it." Just because that, and same thing with Marito. She have many guests. Her same thing. She had passed today to made a follow up today. Explained for Nika, right?
I was even doing an ABC call on the ride to the airport. Philippe gave me a ride to the airport, and he had me on 2 calls on the way back to the airport. So that was good. I thought it was a very productive day. Not only did I meet people at the meeting, I met people getting to the meeting or from the meeting. So yeah, and they are expert. They are highly experienced in network marketing. One of them was a top income earner in a company that I'm very familiar with a few years back. So that's exciting. Anyone else who was there? Diane, congratulations.
Yes, I want to say something to you because I'm a new person in Nikon until April. And I've said that before at the meeting before us. I said that it's a good motivation for us because we are a new person. So to see example, to see a person like you who make very successful with Nikon, and your I'm looking for my word, just wait a moment. And your la façon dont tu t'es exprimé, the way that you express yourself about your experience, show the people that it is possible. So it was a good example for us. And I said that it's a good motivation for a new team like us. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. And Deanne was the third prize winner of the draw. So now I don't know if you guys remember, I ran an incentive in August for sponsoring. If you sponsored someone and they did, I think 100 or 150 points, you got one ticket to the draw. And I was going to check, I have them here. How many entries did you have, Dan?
How many what?
How many entries into this draw did you personally have? I see 1, 2, 3. So you had 3 entries in the draw, and you won. And you get 3, by the way, not just by sponsoring 3. I think if you sponsor 2, you get 3. So you had sponsored 2, so you get 3. And then if you sponsored 3, you get 5 entries. Who else was the winner? Was
Nicole Arbo.
Nicole. Let me see. Nicole.
1 ticket.
1 ticket. So she had 1 ticket and she won the grand prize of $1,000. So all she had to do was sponsor 1 person to be eligible for the draw, and she won $1,000. So that's how cool that incentive is, and how possible it is to win, even if you just have to have one ticket to win. So I'm glad that worked out that way, because I wanted to make that point. And there was one other person, and that
Philip,
was Philip, and Philip had
3 tickets.
3 tickets. So we had 2 people who had 3 tickets, and 1 person who had 1 ticket who won the grand prize. Cool, nice information there. So next time I run an incentive, don't think because you only get 1 ticket that it doesn't matter, because it does matter. Your ticket goes in a jar and it gets selected like everybody else's. There's a good chance that it could be that ticket. So don't count yourself out. Anyone else was there that had guests, Marie-France or
I
both
had,
Marie-France?
yeah, I had 2 guests, and there's one that she said, can you come to my house after? I said, of course. But she had seen you in back in June, and I just wanted, I'm gonna bring her until she just falls in love. So yeah, so I went to her house and I redid the test that Leo did, because she was like leaning forward and so excited about the tests. So I went to her house, I did the tests. I did the water test with the chlorine, and one cup half full and the other cup half full from the tap. And one of the cups, I said, put your 3 fingers in there for 30 seconds, dance around. And then I did the chlorine test, and I said, oh, where did that chlorine go? And she freaked out.
Yeah, it's
So-
powerful.
Freaked
It's
out. She goes,
powerful.
where's the chlorine? She goes, it's in my skin. I said, it's in your skin, just on the tip of your fingers. Imagine when you take a shower. And the daughter, the 27-year-old daughter was there. Blew her mind. So from that, I have 2 other presentations.
So
Plus one that I have to send a copy of the conference. I have to send the copy of the conference in New York.
speaking of which, Leo, when you have the link for the video for that, please send it to me. I'll share it with the group, or just post it on our chat. It's really important that we realize the significance of these demos, because you think everybody already knows that stuff. And maybe you've seen it like 100 times and you know it. So to you, it's not new, it's not exciting, but to somebody who's never seen it, which is pretty much most people, it just blows their mind. And the thing about our business, like, try that with a nutritional. Like, how are you going to do that with a nutritional? How are you going to blow somebody's mind with a drink? Unless it just absolutely tastes like incredible. And they're like, yeah, man, with vodka, this is cool. But I don't know. But when you want to attract people, you want to use tools to attract people. And the most powerful tool we have to attract people to NICAN is those demos. Now, granted, yes, you have to be physically with somebody, but is there something wrong with that? I mean, it's almost as if we make an excuse that, oh, well, then we know we can't build a business international. How do you explain my business? My business is international, and it was built on demos. It was built on events and demos. That was pretty much the way my business was built. But do demos, get people excited, bring them to an event, they see social proof, they're in. That was really the 1-2 punch. Everything else was just bonus. Everything else on top of that, humans being more, training and all that stuff. Once they get in, they fall in love with what they're into because they now are in it. There's a difference between standing on the outside looking in and standing on the inside looking out. There's a very big difference in the way you see what you're looking at. And when you're looking from the outside looking in, it's not nearly as powerful as when you've got some skin in the game, when you're invested in it. So when you get somebody in the business, they can learn the rest. They don't have to know everything before they get in. In fact, they'll never know everything before they get in, because the fact that they get in changes their point of view, which is a different point of view altogether. So the sooner we can get somebody involved, enrolled, the sooner they're going to go down that path of discovery from that point of view and start to see what we see, fall in love the way we do, and discover all the other things about NICAN. So do what it takes to get them in. The rest will sort of take care of itself. Anyone else? Marie-France, did you have somebody there?
Yes,
Mark? Go
I
ahead.
have four guests.
We
two
should have given a
online.
prize, Leo. Remember this for next time. We give a prize for somebody who brings the most guests, okay? I want to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
I have two online guests and two on the place.
Oh, then that's smart. So how
Yeah.
anybody else was online? I think I saw Lynn. I think I saw you were online. Nancy, you were online as well. That's a great way to leverage an event so that you can get beyond the physical. And by the way, those demos, even though you're not in the room, watching other people in the room experience it for the first time still has a major impact.
Mm.
So sorry to interrupt you. Carry on. You had 4 guests,
Four
2
guests.
online.
And the fourth person will be clients, and I have one of them who loves the vision of the company, the vision, the five pillars,
The 5 pillars.
pillars, okay, of the company, and she maybe she will be an consultant.
Fantastic. You know, I'm going to study that presentation that I did, because most of the time I don't know what I'm going to say until I say it. And when I say it, sometimes it's like, wow, that was really good. I need to remember that. So I'm going to watch this playback, this video, because I thought I was different this time. It was similar, but different. It was just way better than normal for me. I feel that the message, that the way I constructed the message and the vision and the relevance of the 5 pillars and all that, I think I did a much better job of explaining it. So I'm going to want to practice doing that again.
I have something to you because you said that. I remarked 2 things about you that you said. 2 des choses fortes, des strong things, strong sentences that you said. You said, I make my story, make yours. No, you have to be creative to make your history with Nikin. So it was something that I remember that you said. And I said the second thing is at the end, when you talk about the 225 vision about Nikin, you said there is something that we don't have to do alone. We're going to make little things together. I don't know what the words were, but it was very powerful, those words. I remember really that.
I was giving, I think, an example of how do we get to 10 million people. It's you tell 10 people who tell 10 people who tell 10 people, and pretty soon we're not measuring things in the tens, we're measuring them not even in the thousands, we're measuring them in the millions. So that's how. Yeah,
it was a very powerful, the whole message, I think, was very powerful. I mean, I loved the conference in June. It was my first one. This one was my second, but for some reason the message was very powerful this time.
I felt the same. Like I said, sometimes you say something that you didn't know you were going to say. 90% of the time, I don't know what I'm going to say. It just comes out. And the way it came out was, I was observant as well. It was like, that was really good. So it's like somebody's talking through me and I'm just the conduit. I thought, wow, that was really good. So yeah, I'm going to encourage you to watch that playback. Anybody who's listening to this one. Question for you. Did anybody else, by the way, have a guest there that we didn't hear from? Mark? Anybody? Okay,
not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that this time. But in June I have 2, and I have this make 2 consultants.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your batting average is 100. Wow. Okay, so now think about this for a second. If we know we get results from the event, like we just know it. We know, hands down, I'm getting a result from this event. It impacts people the way they think and how they respond. then is it enough to have one event every, what, June, so July, August, September, 3 months? Is it enough to have one event every 3 months? It isn't, is it? Now, I think there should be in Montreal, at the very least in Laval, Montreal area, one a month. At the very least, one a month. Because if you have the knowing that this has that kind of impact, then and social proof, because the only way the event works is if other people are there. It only works if everybody's in on it, that you all collaborate together. Remember, we talked about this word extensively yesterday, collaboration. It only works if you all back each other. It can't be, oh, well, I don't have a guest, so I'm not going to go. No, can't play it that way. That's not fair to everybody else, because the day that you do have a guest, you need them there. So it's everybody commits and you all show up. And since you are committed, there's a much higher probability you're going to actually have somebody with you. And therefore, the impact, the effect is going to happen. And it doesn't have to happen once every 3 months. If it happened every month, maybe your 3-month event, I will come, you make it a special event. And so that's what you save for the 3-month occasion. But for you guys to get together, you don't need me. You don't need me to get you guys together. You just need to make the decision that you're going to get together and do that as a team and literally put the team on the map. It can't be dependent on one person. It has to be everybody's in. So if you make a commitment, and by the way, one of the first things we did in Toronto, this is probably the reason why Toronto was such a smash. One of the first things that we did when we planned our very first event was we made a decision to commit to a calendar. So there was, I forget the actual number. I keep thinking it's 11 of us. I was number 11, so there must have been 10 in the team. We made a decision as a team. I remember the meeting. We were in a basement with a whiteboard, and we sat in that basement and we planned our month. We planned the event schedule, and the event schedule was not once a month. It was so aggressive. We had a meeting Tuesday noon, Tuesday evening, Thursday noon, Thursday evening, Friday noon, Saturday morning, and then our special guest event in the 3rd week of the month, plus the Unique and Humans being more. That was the month of January. That was a very busy month. But why? If what we teach in that presentation, one of the slides is that curve that goes like, it goes like that, the curve. And we talk about that being the compounding effect. If compounding is something you do, a small thing you do over time, repeated over time, it's that choice that you make with the consistency of time. So it's the choice you keep making over a period of time, has a compounding effect. Well, if that's true, then it's also true in this case. If we made a decision to introduce one person every 3 months, our business would have a certain speed, and the compounding would take place over decades. If we decide to introduce a person every week, then our business has a different speed, and the compounding takes place over a period of months. If we decide to introduce a new person every day, again, then our business has a different frequency, and the compounding effects can be measured in weeks. So this is why it's important not just to have an event, but to have it with regularity, with frequency. And when you shorten the space of time between events, then you increase not only the frequency, but you increase the compounding effect so that you'll hit the curve sooner. You'll measure that effect much sooner. So I think it would be my advice that this Quebec group move to a monthly event, and you save the quarterly, which I'm already committed to. I'm coming in November. Leo, you got your hand up. Go.
I just want to say, Joan is coming, Joan, and yesterday 10 more silver, 3 Club KI in the last 3 months. And I began an event every month, twice a month, with the business, lunch business. You see, twice a month with 30 and 40 people. I have an event every month. The next one is August 2 and 30 again. I'm busy. It's okay. It's okay. It's work. That's what it's work. All the guy in my group tonight is regularly at my breakfast lunch with guests. The last one, we have 20 people, 25 people, and 12 guests for the last
Fantastic.
breakfast. And you come back to November, you know. It's work.
People don't feel the way they feel right normally. How do I say this? When they get together with Nikken people, it creates a feeling. That feeling is not something they often experience. They don't experience that type of a feeling in their workplace. It's a very unique experience when you get together with Nikken people, the Nikken family. It's an experience. And so every event that you get together as a group of people is an excuse. It's an opportunity for you to invite a guest, because they just need to get around you to feel your energy, to experience your enthusiasm for the future. And that's contagious. And if you do it more often, then you build the fire faster. It's like you're putting logs on the fire more often. And so the more logs you build on that fire, the bigger the fire. Well, then when you bring somebody anywhere near that fire, when it's a little fire, well, they get a little bit warm. But when it's a huge fire, they get like, whoa, this is hot. So the frequency of the events, the commitment to that is the key, is how you build the momentum. And momentum is the key to silvers. You know why I know that? Because Nikken doesn't give you an indefinite period of time to go silver. They give you a 3-month window. It has to happen within 3 months. So something has to happen to accumulate volume within 3 months. And that means you have to generate a certain amount of activity, or translation, momentum, in order to achieve silver. And does everybody who joined Nikken go silver? Nope. Because they didn't establish the momentum, because they didn't get into the rhythm. So this is really the technology of the business. It's the rhythm of the business. It's the event schedule, and it's the commitment on the part of the group to commit to the event schedule. And then you build on each other this social proof, which causes people to get ignited, and you build that fire, you build the momentum. So no magic, it's just a commitment. Now, why you do it, why you would do it, how many of you actually had fun yesterday? It's actually fun. It's like, it's not work. Yeah, listen, I used to do that. Leo, you remember when we used to carry those bags when I launched Mexico. When I launched Mexico back in 1993, I think it was April 1993, I rented, 4 of us shared the cost, and we rented a 4-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor, two doors away from Nikken's head office in Mexico City. So we could just get up and go down, and we're with the office. We could use their facilities. But it was a small office, but it was enough. And in Mexico, everything is mañana. Everything is like, they don't start dinner until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So you don't even get to start your meeting until 11 o'clock. It's like, whoa. You imagine coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning, exhausted after a long day, because you're there to work. You're there not to play, you're there to work. And you're carrying this bag that has not just the Nikken products, but all the promotional stuff that you want to give out to everybody. And I'm dragging this bag up 4 flights of stairs. Mexico City is at like 5,000 feet above sea level, 8,000 feet, whatever it is. It's already high. You're already suffering. But then to carry this bag 4 flights of stairs at 2 o'clock in the morning after a long day, man, I don't think anybody in their right of mind would do that today. But let me tell you something. I did that for 5 months. To this day, 30 years later, 29 years later, the lion's share of my check comes from that business. So yeah, I paid a price. For about 5 months, I paid a pretty big price, and it wasn't always that hard, but it was fun because these people like to party. They make great food. So it was, yeah, it was tiring and exhausting to get at home, but I was right up and at it and ready to do it the next day. And for 5 months, I made it my life. But today, it pays for my life and my lifestyle. You have to connect these dots. That's what it means to have a business, to build a business. There is a price that needs to get paid. Everybody wants everything like a lottery. It doesn't work that way. So how many people do you know actually won the lottery? It doesn't work that way. You have to build it. And fortunately, we have a company that lets us. And they don't tell us when to do it, how to do it. They give us permission to do it when we choose, how we choose. But we have to still make the commitment. It comes from within. Nobody told me to go to Mexico to launch Mexico. Nobody told me to rent an apartment. Nobody told me to go and do that meeting until 2 o'clock in the morning. Nobody told me to drag that bag around. Like, nobody told me to do these things. We did these things because those were the things that made it work. Today,
Mike,
it's easier.
Mike, in the stateside, how many times did you do presentations to nobody?
Oh, that reminds me of one day. So I had 13 people booked at the Niken head office in Mexico. 13 people. It was a Friday afternoon. Probably the stupidest thing to do is to book a Friday afternoon. But I was there to work, and they said they were coming. 13 people, and I'm sitting in that meeting room and waiting and waiting. And I'm already accustomed to people showing up late, but nobody showing up. Nobody showed up. Are you kidding? Don't they know who I am? Nobody showed up. 13 people. I had a 13 out of 13 no-show. That I was blown away. I couldn't believe it, but it happens. Yeah. And it built, yeah, it wasn't fun at the moment, but again, here I am 29 years later talking about it, and it provided for a substantial lifestyle. So don't barter with the price of success. Be happy to pay it and make it as much fun as you can. I love what Richard Brooke says about it. Fall in love with the process. Because if you can fall in love with the process, that's everything. Because you enjoy the work. And if you enjoy the work, it's always going to produce a result. We know cause, effect. You get better at the cause, you get better effects. But enjoy it. Enjoy the learning, enjoy the effort, enjoy the work. And if you can enjoy it, then it's not work. It's not hard. It's not taxing. It actually gives you a little more step. I tell you, I love flying to work. This is what I did yesterday. I got up in the morning. I got up at 6 o'clock yesterday morning, got myself together, got myself to the airport extra early because you never know these days. Of course, I waltz right in, and I'm in there in the lounge for like 2 hours. Get on the plane, get in the Uber, get to my destination. I'm there on time to set up. In fact, I'm in plenty of time. And then on the return home, well, there was a little bit of a bump in the road back, meaning Air Canada delayed 2 hours. And so I'm sitting there waiting and waiting. And I got to the airport early thinking maybe I can catch an earlier flight. I'm there like 5 hours. Here I am back at it next day. And here we are listening to what is the result? What is the aftermath? We now have a recording of that presentation, which I'm really excited about. We have people who are there, who are new, who are excited about Niken. We have people who were already excited about Niken, even more excited about Niken. Like, if you can enjoy the work, it's not work. And to know that you're building something that has legs and longevity, that's incredible. We got it all. We just have to take it serious enough so that we're not doing it whenever we feel comfortable. We do it because we love it and because we know it's worth it. I think Botanis used to always say at meetings, he said, don't ask me, don't expect it to be easy. Expect it to be worth it. Because it is, it sure is. Cool. Anybody else wanted to jump in before I keep going? Okay, so
I have
let's,
a couple of questions in there for Leo about his lunches, but that's down the road. And would you do this, Mike, if you had tri-cities,
yes.
like a 90-mile radius, so you could do one a month in each city, or
Yes, I would do one a
everybody
month,
doing once a month?
I would do one a month in each city, and then I would do once a quarter in each city, so that
Rotating
maybe,
the city that they're in for that 90.
right, so the
radius.
90th day city, I would rotate the city who gets the big event, and maybe you have a special guest or something. But yeah, absolutely. Then and so I guess I started this by saying I have an international business, but I started my business here in Toronto. And thank God I did, because as you're seeing now, the evidence is showing us is that when people experience the products firsthand, when they experience people firsthand, when they get those demos done, it's transformative. And there is no other MLM company doing that. So anybody who's ever had any experience with MLM, that immediately lowers the bar or the objection to MLM, because they see something different. They see something that actually has a quick impact, and it opens the door to their mind. So why wouldn't we leverage what we got going that nobody else has got going? We do. We should. More of that. Open your home. Make a wellness preview in your home. Any number of us as well would be willing to come in via Zoom and entertain your audience. I broke silvers that way back in the day. When I do a conference call, I'd come in on a speakerphone. We call it the voice of God. We had the voice of God speakerphone, and I would just simply be their voice in that meeting room and answer questions once they had gone through the product demos and the introduction and stuff. And then I'd come in and talk about the business, and they'd ask questions and I'd answer, and that would be an evening. So be creative with it, but plan it and fall in love with the work that it is, because if you can get enjoyment from it, you're going to want to do more of it. And we know the mechanism that causes people to be positive about NICAN. It's the product demos, it's the interaction, it's the social proof, it's all of those things. So.
And the credibility of longevity, that we've been here for so long.
Amen.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
So we do have some events coming up. As you know, for those of you in the who've received the information, we do have the one with Luis Kasuga here in Toronto on the October 6th. What else do we have going on? We have this, is it this weekend? Is it Saturday, Seikokai? So Saturday is Seikokai, right? There's another opportunity for somebody to get social proof, to see that NICAN is an ongoing concern, and hear perspectives from other people. There's always a story or two that is impactful on these events, that can change a person's perspective or galvanize it. We have the October event, the NICAN International event, and videos that we're waiting. I hope you're going to prepare your little 10-second spiel of wherever you are in the world of NICAN, sharing with the world your 10 cents commercial, if you will, at your landmark in your city or whatever. You all got that email, right, from NICAN? They're looking for a 10-second lifestyle thing, whether it's about mind or body or family or society or finances, whatever, or more. You can do more than one. They're going to weave all that into an international video. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they want to have something like that? Because it's social proof. It's evidence that this is real. And what are people in need of now more than ever? They need to trust that what they're experiencing is real, because there's been so much misinformation, disinformation. Now people don't even know, they don't know who they can trust. They simply don't know who they can trust. And so they're going to trust people like us that they have an experience with, because they can trust their experience. They just can't trust our words. They can trust their experience. Leo, you have your hand up.
It's Barbara's fault. She asked me many questions. I prefer to.
Sure.
Right.
So what's the question
What a
about
question.
your event?
Yeah, Barbara, ask me a question.
Yeah. What's the
Oh,
question?
the question is, how do you, like, is it a certain restaurant to have 25? So you have 25 people and you got 12 or guests. How logistically are you doing that? Is it a set menu or,
No, it's for breakfast first.
oh, breakfast?
Breakfast, yeah,
Okay.
because it's more easier to have a guest with the breakfast. I invite somebody to breakfast with me, right?
What time?
To depend the restaurant, but average is 9 or 10 o'clock morning. And I invite them to breakfast with me and with another one. And the room, private room, I need a private room, and then don't put me in the corner in the restaurant with the not too far to bathroom, you know what I mean? Private room just for us. And we don't have to pay for the room because
You're buying breakfast.
I bring breakfast, I don't have to pay first. That's a good idea. It's more easier for us to invite somebody to breakfast, second. And I just do a test and share the testimonial. That's it. That's
Interesting.
it. It's easy to duplicate. I don't need the PowerPoint to make something. Yesterday, it's okay because it's big event with the special guests. That's fine. But every month, I can't do that. Breakfast, everybody can do that. I just be my little bag. You see, yesterday, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody said, waitress coming, take order. When she's to make cooking, I said, okay, I take a guest, do a test, bang, 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 share the testimonial. Their breakfast coming, we just talk. That's it. And when we finish, stay for a coffee and Q&A, question and bring your laptop, sign in, sell a product, Every breakfast, we have a result. Customer or consultant, every breakfast.
And you have breakfast.
Yeah.
How many of you have breakfast?
It's easy for me to organize, If it's easy for me, it's easy for everybody.
In other words, yeah, you're making it part of your life. Again, it's not going out of your way. It's making it, you're integrating it into your life and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
We used to have laughs. We used to laugh all the time at the meetings with the diamonds. We used to always say, every meeting is around meals. It's a wonder we're not so fat, because we're always meeting people at meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, it's every meeting is a meal. And so yeah, that's a very productive way to do things and fun.
It's easy to organize, for me and my team. You see, for now I'm doing Laval, but we have 4 more cities we choose around here for maybe a few months. Next 3 months, I do a meeting in Laval, and Marie-France do it in Saint-Jérôme. The same something. You split, you know what I mean? And Philippe in the South of Montreal.
Mhm.
You can at the same time. It's easy to duplicate this.
Very easy to duplicate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. We just have a private restaurant, and the restaurant, he loved me. I bring 20, 25 people each month.
Clever.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
When you come back to October, and this 2 October, I take all the room for 40 people.
Fantastic. Nancy.
I have a question, Leo. Everyone that comes pays for the person or two that they invite, correct?
It's when if Sometimes I pay for, and sometimes I don't have to pay because I have two more guests.
Okay,
Just that I invite you. Another thing is good with breakfast is more expensive like supper, because I do a supper before. My supper is more expensive, beer, wine, but
Yeah.
breakfast, coffee is included.
yeah, yeah,
You get breakfast for $20, right?
uh-huh, yeah,
If
okay,
I have to pay for my guests, that's fine. It's okay. You see, for the supper is, and the breakfast in Montreal area, a lot of traffic. Am I? A lot of traffic. It's difficult for me to do a meeting for this night.
Hmm.
Here, it's very difficult. But Sunday morning, that's fine. No
Yeah, the
traffic.
roads are empty Sunday morning. Airports are not, but roads are.
And 12 o'clock almost finished. One, we can have a rest of the day. And sometimes we just change the restaurant. It's a coming. And I remember 2 years ago, I just changed the restaurant and signed two people, signed right away. Bang, bang. Your consultant.
Wow,
Yeah.
very good.
Thank you.
Mark.
Yes, I just like to add to those breakfasts. It's fun. It's because in French it's called déjeuner causerie. So in English it's a discussion breakfast.
Mm.
So you don't have to pay for your guests. You invite them just to come to enjoy the morning, And at least if you do the breakfast and you don't have any guests, but you're around maybe 15 or 20 consultant, we just talk about it at 7 o'clock. We have another Zoom for Leo team. And we said it's very good to be there because we exchange tricks, or at least we see each other. For the last 2 years, we cannot meet people. And who are some human, we need to meet some people. So it's what I liked of those breakfasts. Just for example, the next one.
This is really,
Yeah.
Go ahead. The next one is what?
Yeah, the next one, it's October 2nd. And it's funny because it's my birthday. So I will invite my family, but they don't know. I mentioned them only small presentation, 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna come just for me. I ask them, want to do a breakfast with the people I love, and so I think it's the easy way. Like Leo said, when you do some lunch, you have beer, wine, and stuff like this. But breakfast around 10 o'clock, yeah, it's really working, I think, in here in Quebec.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff.
And they invite everybody for the magic show by Leo.
All right, this is all really good tips. By the way, it's tips, not tricks.
Yeah.
When you say tricks, people think you're trying to fool them. It's tips for some tips. This is all really good stuff.
Like
Very
like
good.
we said, it's the bull Aleo, the Mac Duo is the bull Aleo. It's a joke, inside joke with us.
Yes, well, we all kind of got that one. Leo's balls.
And
The Meg duo. They
my-
talk about Leo's balls.
Ah,
C'est juste au Québec que c'est drôle, ça. Ouais.
and my breakfast is never serious. My fun. We laugh. You see yesterday?
Yeah.
We laugh, we enchant. I'm not serious. And nobody said, wow, I don't know what's happened here, but I want to be with that group.
Uh-huh.
You know, I want to be, I'm not serious. I'm not technical. So you see, and so blah, 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 blah. No, just testimonial, fun, trick, magic. We laugh a lot. And imagine the people who's come to breakfast said, wow, I feel good here. Can I join it? Of course. $20.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. So make events, create opportunities for you to meet with people. Have fun. It's got to be the prime directive. Have fun. Do the demos. The demos make everything fun. Watching people go, what? Their eyes bulge open. It's like, it happens every time.
So fun.
And yeah, and that's what makes the thing different and unique in the world of network marketing and in business in general, is that we can actually give people an experience. And you can just say, one of the things I used to love to say to people when they would give me a hard time about meeting, I'd say, look, tell you what, if I can't impress you in the first 60 seconds we're together, I'll leave no questions asked. Now they want to know, what could I possibly do in those 60 seconds that's going to be that impressive?
And so what
And-
would you start with?
I would do the mag steps.
okay.
That was my thing. My demo was the mag step demo. So, because it's the product that launched the company. So it was a simple way to start the conversation. And of course, and then when I do the demo and I get the reaction and they say, well, how much of those? I would say, I don't know. I didn't come here to sell you a pair of magnetic insoles, but do I have your attention? And of course, that's all it took for me to have their attention. So now the real conversation can actually start to happen. Marie-France.
Hi, I'm just curious, do you have anywhere recorded one of your presentations?
Not, and only the PowerPoints that you've seen, they've been recorded, but not like a one-on-one or a coffee shop. You don't have a hidden camera sitting there when you're doing one of those meetings.
Okay.
What about the one from yesterday?
That one is coming. So who it was recorded on somebody's laptop, and do we know whose, Leo?
Yeah, my friend Sylvie, she worked on it because she had to cut before and after, because when I put the button, re-record, but 15 minutes too late, too early, and she had to make a
Shorter.
something shorter,
Okay.
and she sent to me, and I sent to you after.
Okay, perfect. So we'll get it soon.
So probably tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Anyone else before we wrap up here?
Well, where are you going to put that recording once you get it?
Oh, traditional channels. I send everything through the social media channel, our WhatsApp
Oh,
channel.
okay, WhatsApp, okay.
Yeah. Okay, everybody.
Well,
Thanks for joining, and I hope you got something from this. And if you feel that this was an important message for anybody, send it to them.
What
This
is your
recording will be up.
WhatsApp channel called? I tried to find you to ask to
There's
join it.
there's Core Consultant. That's one of them.
Okay.
Let me just see what we call it.
In
'Cause I
There's
looked for you. I looked under Good Vibrations and Mike DiMuccio and didn't find you either place. So Core Consultant.
I've got, yeah, so there's Team Niken Canada. That's one of the channels for the Canadian community. And there's Niken Core Consultant. That's the channel for North America at large.
Thank you.
And then any of the tools that I feel is something that's like, something you want to remember, you want to have that gain access to. I created a tools chat called Tools. And if you remember that, every time I post something there, it's in your library in the tools that you can quick access for, sharing with people. The only unfortunate thing with that is that if you join the chat today, you won't have any of the previous versions. So there is a Telegram. There's now channel on Telegram. There's a few actually that's being hosted, one by Niken called Tools. And you can get onto that one, get onto Telegram, which is a social media app. But once you connect to the Niken one, you'll get everything that Niken's posted from the beginning, all the tools, video clips, and so forth on products and promotions and whatever. So I like the idea of being able to build a library of content on my phone or access by phone, so I can quickly send somebody a video or a link to something. Yeah, that's one of the tricks of the trade, so to speak. One of the tips of the trade is tools.
Mm-hmm.
And building your library of tools so that you have quick access to it. It's like if somebody wanted to know about the waterfall, I can quickly resource either the still images that we have of it or the videos that we have of it in the toolbox.
Okay,
And another thing you can do, by the way, another thing I like to do is, I don't do it as much because I have the WhatsApp, but you can favorites. If you see something on YouTube, make it a favorite. And therefore you now have favorites in your YouTube channel. And you can go to your favorites and figure out what that tool was, that if you want to send somebody something. So, but definitely be in the business of collecting, collating information. It's hard to expect it to be in one location because there's so many different sources of information. So start building your own library and teach people to do the same.
Mm.
All right, everybody, great call. Thanks for your input. I'll post this as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much, Mike. It's been great.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers, everyone.